What is CaSO4 2H2O? You are surrounded with this chemical every time you enter your house and most, if not all, buildings you enter. Give up? It is gypsum. In your house, gypsum covers your walls and is known commercially as wallboard or drywall. Hi, I'm Logan, the 64th Gear Jammer Skeele, and I'm back with another episode of Toy Talk. Today, I thought I'd hop across the pond to talk about a Scania and the history of the Knauf private fleet name on the door. But first, take a moment to subscribe and ring that bell to get notified of all of my videos on diecast replicas, toy companies, real companies from around the world. Also, grab my free report on scale. What does it mean? As today's toy truck review is a 64th scale Euro truck, which is odd for Europe as their most common scale for trucks is 1/50th as opposed to our 1/64th scale. Let's start off with Knauf Company's history. Oh wait, before I talk about Knauf, I had better tell you what gypsum is. Gypsum, the miracle mineral gypsum, CaSO4 2H2O, is a rock-like mineral abundantly found in the Earth's crust. It is usually white, colorless, or gray. It has been called a treasure granted to humanity by nature. It may seem unfamiliar at first, but it is everywhere. Thanks to its natural properties of being non-toxic and harmless, gypsum can be found in many fields of human endeavor, such as medicine, healthcare, food, art, and building construction. Due to its special characteristics of being fire resistant, decorative, heat insulating, temperature regulating, and highly compressive, gypsum has been favored for many years in the fields of building construction and decorating. As early as 9000 BC, humanity had already made gypsum into plaster to be used in building and decorating. Plaster was discovered to be used in the underground frescoes in the ruins of Katal Huyuk, located in modern-day Turkey. Archaeologists discovered that during the reign of the pharaohs in Egypt, gypsum was used to repair the Cheops pyramid in 3000 BC. This is how our story on Knauf started. Speeding forward to the early 1930s, the brothers Alphonse Knauf and Karl Knauf started to become very interested in this resource that has outstanding properties in terms of heat resistance and heat insulation. The Knauf brothers, who were mining engineers, saw a future in gypsum and started to investigate its possible uses in hopes of being able to make full use of this outstanding mineral as a building material. They hoped that people could conveniently create safer, more comfortable, and more beautiful living environments using this mineral. From this starting point, gypsum was to become the center of their business. The Knauf brothers figure out the first step in bringing their ideas to life was to obtain mineral rights to a gypsum mine near their hometown, which they did in 1932. Next, they established a plaster works in the Mosel region of Germany. From then on, their ideas were carried forward step by step. In 1949, Knauf produced their first batch of plaster of Paris. In 1958, Knauf built a new factory in Pfofen, Bavaria, and started to produce construction plasterboard. With the gradual recovery of the German economy, Knauf entered a period of fast development. Knauf has now developed into an international corporation with businesses spread around the globe. The scope of businesses has expanded from plaster to various other building materials, such as cement, wood wool, mineral wool, and metals to create an all-new era and lead the sustainable innovation and development of building construction. This all developed from a little dream from 80 years ago to meet the needs for people's living spaces to be safe and comfortable. The Knauf brothers' original idea of using gypsum has been carried on to this day to bring excitement and creativity to buildings and homes throughout the world. Today, the Knauf Group is a global name in the world of building products and solutions. Now let's head over to my little quarry to talk about a 1/64th scale Corgi Scania with Curtainsider for the Knauf private fleet. And here we go, guys. This is the Scania Four Series medium-high cab with a sleeper pulling a 3-axle Curtainsider. This is a very, very common combination you would see on the highways in Europe. It is for Knauf Industries and their private fleet. It's got Knauf Plasterboard, Plasters, and Drywall Systems on the side of those curtains, and then Knauf on the cab door. Now, a very common setup in Europe. In fact, Curtainsiders are far more common in Europe than are any other trailer. They are the most popular trailer. Corgi did this truck in 1/64th scale, which is really odd for them because the standard scale for trucks in Europe is 1/50th, but they did this one in 64th, and they did actually a whole series back in 2000 to probably 2003-ish, where they were trying to see if 64th scale would do well in Europe for trucks. They went back to 50th scale, because that is the standard European scale. However, it's really nice because we can get a few European trucks to put in our collections, which personally I think we need some just for the variety. Now, this trailer has a die-cast chassis frame, and the fenders over the wheels are die-cast, as are the skirts. The sides and the top and the doors are all plastic. Now, as a Curtainsider, it does not functional. It's just simulated, but they did a nice job with the tampos here on making the straps and making it look a little bit like it has the curtain side look to it, and then the wrinkles and stuff that Curtainsiders have. It's got the Knauf logo, Plasterboard, Plasters, and Drywall Systems. Really, really nice. Around to the back, it has Knauf logo, telephone number, ET920, ET920 for the trailer number, and then it's got another graphic here. It's also got white back here on these parts that would kind of look like mud flaps on our trucks, but they're really not. They're a solid piece that has the brake lights and a little reflector. Note the brake lights and the turn signals are in little square blocks on a big rectangle, which is standard in Europe. There's also an actual backup light on the trailer. The cam locks and the hinges are molded into the door. Both doors are plastic. And then there is also a bumper with some chevrons on it. Now these doors, they do open on this trailer. Really nice. Nice, nice, nice. To show off, not much detail inside, but you could put something in there, so that's pretty cool. Around to the what would be the curbside passenger side over here, but being this is a British truck and runs in Britain, it is actually a right-hand drive, so this is really the driver's side over here. You can see the Knauf logo, the plasterboard, the plasters, and the drywall. Really nice simulation of the cloth side and the straps here. Same skirts with lights, and then your 3 axles. And if you'll look at the way the wheels are,
they are singles, which is standard on these trailers. They're a hard plastic wheel that's painted silver with blue center cap and blue rim, and then soft rubber tires. Pretty nice. Up top, it says Knauf, and it's written in both directions. That way, I guess when you're flying over, you could read it. Doesn't matter which direction you fly. Really awesome. Underneath, you can see there's those singles. In Europe, 3 axles with singles on them are their standard way that their trailers are set up. Duals are not as common on their trailers other than in special applications. The kingpin is here, and note, ours are normally up about here, theirs are way back. So this wouldn't hook up really well to an American truck. Also, you'd have a problem with hooking it up to any of the DCP or first gear because that kingpin there is much bigger in diameter. It has landing gear here that is die-cast into the chassis, and it is fixed. It doesn't go up and down. Oh well. There's an air tank, and it kind of looks like some suspension molded into it there. And then you can also see the fenders, which are required on European trucks. And then there is the frame, the lattice that you can see for the frame. Overall, they did a pretty nice job right there. And they made a nice trailer, even though there's a lot of plastic on it. Now, when we get up here, this is the front of the trailer. You can see the hookups for the airlines, trailer numbers as well. And then it is just a dry. They also do have a refrigerated van and a tanker in this scale. Now when I set it down so I can pick up the truck, you can see the problem with the fixed landing gear. The trailer just droops. Oh well. Normally we'd leave these hooked up so it's not that big a deal, but it's still been nice to have working landing gear. And here is the cab. It's a Scania Four Series, which is what they were offering at the time, and it's the medium-high cab. It has the steps going up to the door in front of the wheel, which is the way their cab overs are. We made a few of them at the very end, International and Freightliner particularly. It's got the hard plastic rim with the soft rubber tire, single front, and duals on the drive axle. If this had another axle here, it probably would have had singles, which is their standard way, but most of their trucks are just single rear axle. It's got the skirts, and then it's got the rear fenders here, standard for Europe. Knauf painted on the cab, truck number of H436, a little pinstriping detail painted right there. There's a door handle, toolbox door, and then a black piece that goes up and follows this. Really cool. Also, it's got the upper fairing and the back fairing on the back of the cab. The doors don't open, but the windows are hard plastic, and there is a basic interior inside. It has 2 lights up top, which they like to run an extra set of lights there. Get your headlights here, and then some more driving lights. There's a number bar there, and then you have turn signals on the outside. Really nice grill, and then there's some little air intakes there, and then it says Scania right there. Pretty cool. And this is the driver's side. Now, it's got the same decals that the other one does, only you can see here, there is the steering wheel. Everything else is the same on this side as the other side. There's also, you can see, no mirrors. That would have been nice to have some mirrors, but they didn't do it. Oh well. Around here to the back, there's your license plate that's on the back of the fenders. Don't see mud flaps, but then again, with the way they've got their fenders, you don't really need mud flaps back there. You can see the square box brake lights, turn signals, and backup lights in a rectangular bar, standard of Europe. There's an air tank, tipped up a little bit, like this. There's fuel tanks, more air tanks, and then there's the 5th wheel. Underneath, not much detail. There's a basic, like an oil pan, a little bit of transmission. There's a drive shaft going back here. No differential. There is the air tank, but you can see the duals are here on the rear axle and the singles with a pretty nice representation of a truck tread there. Bottom of the 2 fuel tanks, it says Corgi on this one. It's cast in, and that's about it. Don't really even have much suspension detail, no working suspension, no steering on this one. This model was shipped over from England. I think it'd make a great model for your collections to find any of these European trucks, just to put one real oddball in your collection. And that is the Corgi 1/64th scale Scania Four Series medium-high cab with curtainsider for Knauf Plasterboard, Plasters, and Drywall Systems private fleet.
What do you guys think of European trucks? I know they look way different than our trucks over here, but I'd really like to know if you think models of them belong in your collections. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Personally, I think the Euros drive some really neat looking equipment that has been built to accommodate the different driving environment of Europe. And I like the variety of some Euro trucks in my collection. Just something that stands out on the shelf or on my layout, as it looks different from all the rest. To go along with that, grab my report on tips for valuing your collection, as it will give you pointers on how to choose items that not only will go up in value, but will stand out in your collection and get noticed. It's funny, you can have all the Pete 379s made, but your friends will notice that one oddball looking truck first. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please go on and smash that like button to help me out so much with the YouTube algorithm. Drop your comments, share this video with your followers, and subscribe to my channel. Each week, I bring out new videos reviewing the best vintage and current diecast models for your collections. But I don't just talk about the model. I also talk about the company who made the model, or the real machine, or about the name on the door, like this Knauf truck. So make sure to ring that bell so you get notified on my next video. I'm Logan, the 64th Gear Jammer Skeele, and I'll be back soon with another episode of Toy Talk.